What's up, everybody? Alive, the Prodigy and Top Dog Omari. We are back with another podcast. This one likely will be quite short because I don't want to talk about the shit all night. I want to eat dinner. Wrestling is awful. I've been putting a lot more time into catching up on movies, spending time with family, not talking about anything related to wrestling or most pop culture stuff is awful. You honestly these days can catch me on TikTok, dude. That's what pretty much where I'm at. Unless my homies like Top Dog or Mario or OSJ or JoJo or somebody want talk about a pot or something's relevant that don't piss me off that's going on, I'll talk about it, But I felt that I had to get on here and talk about this because I've been going at it with these fools for almost 2 days now, and I finally got some time off work today and tomorrow. So I was like, let me just go ahead and discuss this because this community is completely out of the hand. And if it's not obvious by now by the post, by the thumbnail, I'm talking about the LGBT plus community. And I only been on TikTok barely 2 weeks. And all my videos gotten hit. Don't get me wrong. The Prodigy brain is on fire, even with all the haters. So eat that, haters. Dude, my analytics is up crazy on YouTube and right now on TikTok. My first 2 hours on TikTok, I had over 1,000 views. So y'all can get the hell out of here with all this. Y'all don't think I know what I'm talking about and all this, dude. Y'all hate all you want. I'm doing well. People like truth. I'm a truther. We always put the information out there. And if it wasn't so true, y'all wouldn't be getting upset. So we doing well. People like what we doing here. Y'all can try to shadow ban me and all that. I'm always going to get around all of that. So we got the Top Dog. He over there eating a little thing, but he going to pop in and out. I invited OSJ. What we need to do, us right now, is truthers. And that kind of got like a negative buzzword connotation because dumb people that don't have brains and don't know how to break down things to where they're supposed to be broken down turns everything into a bad buzzword. Like, it's nothing wrong with being a truther. That means you just protecting yourself, your brain, your knowledge, and most importantly, your family. I'm sorry, Top Dog, you was about to say something. What are you going to say?
Well, it's the conspiracy theories. They call us conspiracy.
Right.
The CIA came up with that term in the 50s and 60s. They came up with that term, to demean anybody that got too close to the truth. That's
right.
Where it comes from. And sadly, most of America, if not all, like 90% of Americans are brainwashed, old and young.
They are.
It's because even before the internet, because when TV, that's one of the reasons why TVs became big in the 50s. After World War II, that's one of the reasons why, because they learned that they can brainwash people with the TV. Is MK Ultra.
Yep.
Then the internet came. Now, granted, this is one of the beauties of the internet is that even though it's still used for brainwashing, you can still fight it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we get younger kids, younger generations coming up nowadays that goes against this nonsense because the internet is hard. It's harder for them to brainwash us on the internet. Yeah, they still do it, but it's harder for them.
Right.
And that's why they're trying to crack. So they're cracking down so hard on it.
Right. No, you're 100% right. A lot of stuff you just said is really accurate in this. Like I said, I'm always impressed by your brain at your age, at 18, going on 19. And a lot of people are becoming more and more intelligent and more astute to a lot of this stuff, just for the simple fact of they're getting VPNs and they have ham radio. It's people that still use stuff like that. And it's becoming more and more prevalent now because a lot of these corporations, I'm not going to name none, they know who they are, the big major six ones. I'll say one because I don't mess with them like that. CNN. They're starting to silence anybody that's not against this propaganda. And that's one of the first things I want to stop off. One of the first layers or one of the first branches to this tree that I want to go with this particular topic tonight. And that's propaganda. These people, the LGBT community, are convinced that everything is propaganda but LGBT stuff. They're saying everybody that's going against it are propagandists. Anybody that is that marginally support Ron Desantis or former President Trump. Let's be clear. I don't like any of them particularly. It's just when they say something right, I'm going to agree with it. I have a brain. I don't care about either party. I don't care about Democrats, Republicans. I care about what's best for me, my community, and my family. Whoever does that, I don't care what party they under, none of that. I'm not going to party with them. It's just when they say something right, I'm going to agree with them. The problem with these people, and I always say they're like locusts, is they are so extreme at what they do. It's not, and that's why the Daily Show is so bad, and why Chappelle probably won't even host it, even though I think he's the most qualified. D.L. Hughley's not bad, but at the end of the day, D.L. Hughley's gonna get that bag. He says funny stuff. He says things I agree with. He says a lot of things I disagree with. However, Hughley is not a better candidate, nor are any of these comics, than Dave Chappelle. And Dave Chappelle tell it like it is, which is exactly why he's not on there. Jon Stewart was all right. He was pretty decent. But I think after a while, it was like, yeah, we need to get away from guys like Jon Stewart. That's why they kind of gave him the boot in 2015 and made it seem like he silently retired. But, I mean, he was probably low-key. Part of him was probably getting a little tired of that shit. But they've stepped him down. They knew they're going to start going in the direction they're going in. One thing a lot of people have to understand is most agendas are already in most of the power that be. They have it in their mind that they're going to do it 100 years later. In 10 years before they implement it, they start slowly seeping it into the soil and getting people used to it. They knew this LGBT stuff was going to happen probably after like the 80s or 90s. And right now it's kind of a weapon because one thing people don't analyze, and I don't have a problem. I have cousins that's been LGBT before it was popular. I used to stop them from getting beaten by their mom. I've told this story several times on the podcast. So y'all can get the hell out of this with the, oh, you're homophobic. First of all, the problem with a lot of people is y'all don't understand words and y'all don't read nothing. Y'all just sheep that go off what people tell you. A phobia is a fear. I'm not scared of a goddamn thing, especially nothing that a human being creates. Maybe some diseases or something, but I'm not scared of a man, woman, or child that walks this planet. I'm not a fearful of any individual. So stop calling me phobic. A phobia is a fear. I'm not scared of gay people. I'm just getting tired of their bullshit. That's what I'm getting a little tired of. And once again, I don't care if you're gay and you mind your business and you're not preying on children. You can be gay all day. Just stop preying on these children. If you look at the top right thumbnail right now on this thing, that is a person in San Diego, a woman, I think it's a woman, or it's probably a transgender, in front of this teacher that's dressed as a princess penis costume. And if you look at the actual article, Google Paula the Penis, San Diego, and the story will actually come up. Those children that you can barely see from this photo, those children are ranging from the age of probably like 4, and the oldest might be 6 or 7 in their classroom. Do you think, ask yourself as a parent, and you're going to watch this later. I appreciate y'all retweet this. Hit me up. It's TJ Time 1991 on Twitter, the most greatest podcaster online that people try to block, plus my homies Omari, Top Dog, OSJ. We the real technical work rate, people like that. We gonna tell it like it is, and they try to shadow ban. Thank God that the new Twitter regime that's under Elon Musk is really lax, because these arguments I had with these people, they would have had my shit suspended by now. So thank God that he's relaxed. Go ahead.
I was two things harping on what you were just saying. I was debating with the guy named Eric. He says he's a pastor, but he's part of the LGBT. Whatever. And I was arguing with him about wrestling. And then I said, I forgot what I said, and him and his friend on there got my old account suspended.
Right.
But well, going back to what you were saying about the
real quick, ain't it ironic that the wrestling community and LGBT kind of bleed over with each other? They're the same people. Yeah. If you look at them in the crowd, they got multicolor. It's the same community. But go ahead, what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's essentially it is. It's no longer kids going there. Or you don't have people
or casuals. Normal casuals don't even go anymore.
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem with like I think TWRP said it best. Is that you have people my age going there, but it's not the cool teenagers you see on an everyday basis. Well, not in California, but you know what I'm talking about. It's the minorities. That's the minority that's going. And even then, the minorities I see in Oklahoma, they're not as crazy about it. You got the problem is that you have like a lot of these it's the crazies, the wrestling. Who's a good example? The AEW fans. You have those going. That's the problem. It's not the cool. It's not a teenager. Not those TikTokers or cool TikTokers. They ain't going to a wrestling show. You think they gonna pay? They didn't think that part of go that they see like someone like John Cena or like a Batista or The Rock go, but they ain't want to see Adam Cole. So, but we're not talking about wrestling now. I just want to say that. But the problem is though, what you're saying about that mainstream stuff, and I tell people this all the time on Twitter, because that whole counterculture stuff of the 80s and 90s, the people talking about. I tell people all the time that it was fake. You can't be. I'm telling you, you can't be counterculture if you're coming from it's not counterculture if it's coming from Hollywood. Hollywood is the style.
Right. Everything in Hollywood is planned, and they always, that all that stuff is well produced.
Yeah.
Most of it, like 99% of it, is planned. Like it's not nothing count. It's not organic counterculture movements. I know what you mean coming out of Hollywood.
Yeah, and you still got people. You still got these 40-something-year-olds, those who grew up listening, to Rage Against the Machine or grunge, who grew up on that type of stuff, the Attitude, or that type of stuff. Think that was real. I'm like, bro, that's not real. This is planned. One, it was planned to add more degeneracy to the society. That's essentially what it did. I mean, let's be honest here. Yeah, that stuff was good, but we really want to look into it. It helped lay the foundations for what we see. It was counterculture. How can something be counterculture if it's coming from the government? If it's coming from Hollywood?
Real quick to add one part to what you said. Speaking of plan, I was looking at stuff that was trending on Twitter so I could add it to the post so more people could see the video. George Lopez was just peeing on Donald Trump's Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm pretty sure that was planned. I generally like George Lopez, but we know he's probably the Hollywood elite. It's certain stuff he's going to do because his handlers sent him out there to do that. I'm pretty sure if George Lopez was paid money by Donald Trump, he'll retract that. And I like Lopez. He's pretty funny. But come on, dude. You look crazy doing something like that. Like all minorities did better under Donald Trump than they did under Barack Obama. Now, Mexicans did pretty good on Obama, but they did better from a job standpoint under Donald Trump. Everybody did because he stimulated the economy because Donald Trump is a financial business person. Donald Trump was just, I want a hug. I'm sorry, not Donald Trump. Obama was, I want a hug from everybody president. I want to be everybody's favorite. And he dealt with some bullshit. Don't get me wrong. You had these irrational ass racist old men. Their goal was to just reverse everything he did, no matter if it benefited or not. You had petty assholes like that. But overall, Obama's campaign was all about, I want to hug the world versus I'm going to make America better when we're suffering through this financial crisis. And the ironic is, he did one of the most elitist things ever. He bailed out like banks and stuff, but the average person was suffering. How crazy are y'all when it comes? What do you care more about, being liked or Obama saying he likes you or actually having a job? I don't understand how these damn people think, dude. It is, like I said, I don't care about Republican versus Democrat. Both of them never really done anything for black people. We really do your research. We're being honest. However, I care about having money, having a job, which that's what Trump gave us. He gave y'all like 2 or 3 refund checks. Anyway, go ahead, Omar. These people are crazy, dude. These people are fucking crazy, man.
Oh, I only like the George Lopez show, because of Carmen. That's the only reason.
Right.
Ooh, she was hot. But I'm also... if y'all ever noticed about me right now, I'm a Mexican guy. I'm a little bit of a milkman. You barely see me liking black women. I just can't like black women. It depends, but most of them got that, that ghetto stuff. I can't deal with it.
OSJ, I'm a little busy tonight. I'll definitely hop on next time. I can't wait to hear the roast of Rainbow Mafia. Thank you, OSJ. You're welcome to get on whenever. I didn't mean to put the down. I meant to put the up thumb up on his thing.
But
we might jump on tomorrow if OSJ is available and just do a follow-up to this. I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm a Mexican guy. Anybody has,
You'll get along with my friend Brian. He loves Mexican women.
Oh.
And he likes topics like this. One day when he's not so busy from work. He lives in Texas. He lives right outside of Houston. We'll get him on here one day. Brian's a great guy. We'll get him on one day.
Crazy, but Mexicans is hot.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem with me and a lot of their parents teach them to be racist towards black men. That's why it's hard to date Mexican women. I'm sure you'll find some, but they have a culture that's entrenched in oppressing black men, specifically from their parents. Like they talk down, they think they're not worthy of being married. That's the only problem with dating a lot of Mexican women. Their parents are just racist as hell. What I mean? They're not that much far off from white people. Yeah. But real quick, I just want to before we jump back into where you're saying, this Paula the penis thing, that's not appropriate for this mascot to be in front of children that young. Go ahead, what you're gonna say, Omar.
I was gonna say that. To be fair though, that a lot of Mexican, like their moms, like a young Mexican mom, bro, they both hot. I don't know how.
I like the loyalty that's entrenched in the Mexican culture that they have towards their men. That's attractive to me because from my culture, the Nigerian culture, the women they submit to men. And of course, I understand the side of the woman that why should I submit to this man when I make more money than him, which I agree. Like me, you got to be on your square. You can't just expect women. Hey, Marissa, you cannot just expect men to submit to you. I get when women don't fuck with fuck dudes, bro. Like you over here talking about, she know that you only want to have sex with her. You think women are dumb, bro? They can tell when you bringing that type of energy towards them. And I
Yep.
understand some women do need to chill, like black women. They have this sense of, but I
Yeah.
get it's been so long that they feel unprotected. So now that I'm just on a rage, bro, they kind of loose. But it is women out there that won't cooperate no matter what you do. That's black women. So, but I just don't even bother to talk to them. You know what
It's
I mean?
another thing that I got a problem with, and it's kind of it's not in the same subject as the LGBT stuff, but it kind of
Right.
goes what we're talking about. It's guys like Fresh and Fitness and Andrew Tate. Now, granted, I agree with some of the things he gotta say, but a lot of these things that they're saying, and these younger cats is looking up to them. I got a problem with it. Like the Fresh and like these podcasters, you know how you be seeing online how they be treating women, saying that.
Sure. A
And
lot
then
of them are incels, though, bro. A lot of them are kind of like incel and weird and shit like that.
yeah, but the problem is that you got these younger cats looking up to them because we're fathers not really in the home no more, and they're looking up to them, and then they're gonna grow up and start treating women like crap. This is
Sure.
we need to course correct.
Right, but parenting, and this goes back to our topic with LGBT too. Parenting is really about you raising a balanced child. Your child could be masculine, but still have sensitivity towards women. With his number one priority, every woman in your life, you as a man, if you're going to call yourself a man, your number one priority is to protect every single woman in your life. Every single one. Even when they acting out, they going through their phases, your job is still to protect the woman no matter what. That's what your job. You're the protector. That's what your job is when you're a real man. That's what your job is.
Especially your wife and your daughter.
Exactly. Like that. Those are the number one people, sisters too. Those are the number one people that you protect. The problem is a lot of these males are unbalanced, even the white ones with money. Like they were raised with their dad in and out of court, because people always think that the divorce court is mostly a minority thing. No, those white dudes be in court too. Don't get it twisted. They be sitting. I be coming across them all the times talking about, man, if I could do this or do that to my wife, I'll get rid of her. It's like a pride in white culture to not value black women. And I'm sorry, not black women, to not value their woman, the white man. And I think that's what a lot of this gay culture, a lot of gay culture, when you really study it, comes from Europe. All this other stuff is we're under European regime. So we're studying what they're doing. We're under the Roman regime. We still use the Gregorian calendar. That's all Roman and Greek culture. We're under their shit. So, of course, they're going to put all this and make it seem like everybody was always gay. It's a difference between effeminate and gay. You had effeminate men that wore like earrings and certain stuff that we consider associated with women in African culture. However, it's never been a movement of gay men being with men, want to have babies. That's never, I'm African. I can tell you that's never been a part of our culture. Especially in like the southern part of Africa, like the old school Uganda and all that. That's why they be getting mad at the Uganda. Bro, they not with that stuff. Just because y'all want to go in the closet, that's y'all culture, bro. If you study Greco-Roman culture and Greek culture, you'll see that they didn't consider you a man. Ask yourself, everybody played God of War, or you've seen it at least. Why was Kratos nude under that skirt thing he was getting on? You, in that culture, when you dominated them, you were not considered a man until you sodomized them. And I'm not going to the ground. You know what sodomy is. Look it up. They literally had to, rape them. That's how you exerted their dumb. That shit's always been part of their culture. When you read Greek mythology, it's in it, pageantry and all that. Which pageantry is when an older man, because all cultures have a rites of passage. We have it in my culture, but it's not gay. So in pageantry, basically, a older male would take a young understudy and he would wrestle with him naked and all that, and he groomed them to be his heir apparent. That weird shit's always been part of white people's culture. Now, if they want to do that, fine. But stop trying to use black people as the experiment. That's unnatural to our culture. And this is not about hate, it's about the truth. Look and don't believe nothing I say, double check it yourself. Everything I said you can find an actual published. It's been in a book somewhere. I'm a well-read person. So is Omari. Everything we say, you can double check, dude. So that's what my problem is. They try to make it seem like this is some black stuff. No, bro. Y'all using us because y'all know we're usually more accepting to outside culture stuff. That's why, specifically black women, which is nothing wrong with being open-minded. I'm relatively open-minded, but I'm not stupid. I'm not going to sit here and sit back and watch y'all prey on children and be okay with it. And ironically, look at this picture on the thumbnail that says don't stay gay. The first person in the frame, the first two people on the right are black women. You think that's by accident? They know they put that shit out there on purpose. And you read the signs, it says Disney, protect LGBT plus children. Why is LGBT plus and children even in the same category? I don't want children thinking about heterosexual sex before the age of like 17. They should be focusing on school, whatever they're going to do for a career, and being a kid. That's what they need to focus on.
Yeah, because
not all this shit, dude. It's too early. That's what y'all don't understand. Y'all want to get mad and get in y'all feelings. It's too early for this shit, dude. Go ahead, Omar.
Well, again, it goes back to the parenting because you go back to the day, how teenage pregnancy. When we had, this country had a high rate of teenage pregnancy, and everybody was, I said, why is a lot of teenagers getting pregnant? It's because it's the parents, and then this is my problem. And again, I'm not a parent. I'm far from it.
Right. But as am I. I'm far from it as well.
But the reason why I go hard at these older generations, I don't want to turn this into old versus young. But the reason why I go harder at them is because they didn't parent right. They let their kids just do fuck off, or where put an internet or TV in front of them. Don't do nothing.
Right.
Then when the kid comes out, but crazy, they wanna criticize. It's like, you can't criticize. They're a product of your environment. You can't criticize. And then people be getting mad at me and say, "Oh, the younger generation should take responsibility." I agree, but I'm not letting these old cats off the hook.
Nope. And I was talking to my best friend on the phone earlier about this, about how all these old people are dismissive and I wonder what's wrong with these kids. You the one that raised them. What do you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. But a lot of people are waking up to this shit, and that's why so much pushback from LGBT.
That's why they be making me laugh so much, bro. It's like, okay, I agree. Like, when he was like, well, they're adults now. They can, well, okay, I agree. They are adults now. They should take responsibility. But again, I'm getting off the hook.
Yeah, I agree, dude. This is madness, and that's why podcasts like this is important. Even if you hate me, I appreciate the feedback of anybody watching it. And I've had I tried to have logical discourse with a lot of people from the LGBT community, but they not receptive. They're hostile. Their goal is not to have discourse and an understanding between y'all, or even something as benign as a let's agree to disagree. They want to try to make you seem stupid and all that. I'm gonna pull up some of these messages in a minute on my TikTok and show y'all how crazy these people are. Literally, I had just finished posting this before I went to work yesterday because during the work week I post all my videos before I go to work on TikTok. And minutes after it finished publishing on the thing, I went back to check just to see if it was any engagement. Dude, it was like 10, 15 messages, all of them aggressive at how I'm dumb. Like, bro, first of all, anybody that really know me know that I'm the furthest thing from dumb. You can disagree with me. You might not like what I say. I'm literally the furthest thing from dumb. I'm one of the more intelligent people in my age group. Anybody that really know me will tell you that. So, and most importantly, since when that actual adults lead off a conversation by saying somebody was dumb? Aren't y'all supposed to be smart and have this extensive vocabulary and all of this? And one of my main points of contention is these people refuse to accept the fact that gay people are represented in television. They got this, oh yeah, no, everybody trying to hold us back. How? And I understand, like I said, I don't condone violence or none of that against any type of group. But if you're going to sit here and try to pretend like y'all not being protected by all these bills, okay, if y'all were so misrepresented and maligned, why can't anybody that have a different opinion say about it online without getting flagged? How dumb do you think I am? If you don't think I know that y'all get catered to. YouTube specifically catered to y'all. Maybe the other ones that take a little more while and to take a little more engagement for them people to shut you down. But YouTube this video probably going to get pulled. Or it's probably going to get a strike. I just got my strike off last week. It's probably going to be a strike on this video. However, at this point, I'm willing to take the risk because this shit needs to be talked about. I'm getting sick and tired of these people being bullies. Omar, did you want to say something?
I never thought I'd see the day where, we can use some hustle, loyalty, respect in this world. No, we need it.
Yeah, definitely respect. Because these people are completely disrespectful and these companies allow it to happen and it's getting completely out of hand. Y'all sit there and say it's freedom of speech. YouTube, why do y'all keep reforming y'all terms of policy to basically make it where anybody that has a different opinion that's not liberal get kicked off? Y'all think y'all slick? I've been watching closely how y'all edit y'all terms and conditions. And basically what y'all do is y'all going further and further away from freedom of speech. And y'all trying to be slick. And y'all smart like Dame Dash to dumb people. You get away with that with people that's not paying attention. I watch every little thing because I'm a very litigious thinking person. For me to be dumb, I know big word. Litigious means I think legally all the time. I'm thinking of, oh, can somebody sue me? That's what I mean by that. Or at least try to take my content down. And I'm not, so I closely pay attention to any type of contract I'm doing with anybody because I know how shady people are. So y'all need to get this out of y'all head that, oh, we're being misrepresented. How? Every show has more and more inclusive with gay people. Where's this alleged glow in the dark as misrepresentation of gay people? This is completely out of control right now. And yeah, some of us might be, OSJ and Omari are from the South, so maybe their views are a little more old school Southern. I'm from the Midwest, dude. I'm from Chicago, Queer-California, pretty much at this point. Gay. I'm trying to find a clever way to Chicago. I'm from gay Chicago. It's getting more and more gay in Chicago. Y'all have plenty of representation. In June, large portions of Chicago are closed off for parades and celebratory events for gay people. I live in one of the largest, gayest population cities in the world. So get out of here with that. I've been around gay people a long ass time, and I don't even have hostile relationships towards most gay people I interact with. It's more of a live and let live type thing. They say their point, I listen. I say my point, we move on. That's all it is. And if y'all don't think y'all are being uniformed and mobilized to take down non-gay people, you are a fool. And I know it hurts to accept that you're wrong about something. And that's what a lot of them are doing. They're having what they call it, cognitive dissonance right now, where they feel like they've been had, and right now they freaking out. Bro, y'all are being played by. If you think these big companies, these big 6 umbrella network companies are behind y'all because they love y'all right to express gayness, you are out of your mind. They look at y'all as tools to promote evil stuff. And another part, and this is why I'm gonna bring Omari back in, is so many gay people that don't even realize that they're being used to promote satanic evil shit. Like, why is it evil looking witch transgenders reading books to children? And I've seen footage of it. This is not me making this up. I've actually seen this shit before. So this is where they think they got people that they think they dealing with a fool. It's an expression that says, you ain't said nothing slick to a can of oil. That's me. You can't be slick with me because I read too much. Omar, do you be seeing this satanic, this gay stuff? Do you be seeing these articles or clicks online, images? Do you see any of this?
Yes, I do, man.
Yeah, really, this stuff is crazy.
I really don't be saying nothing about it because I focus on it's bad, but I focus on the people who's behind all of this.
The hidden hand. Right.
That's what I focus on. But really, all I gotta say about it again is the parenting. This is, right. And I've been saying this for a while, and I was saying it over the weekend when it was coming to a situation like this. This is the parents, and this goes for everything. Like I be saying, everybody and I'm going a little bit off top, but it goes when I'm saying it. It's that everybody wants to ban things. Oh, it's the video games. The video games is bad. Oh, let's get rid of smartphones. Let's get rid of the internet. Let's get rid of social media. But nobody thinks about how these things that's actually helped us. Yeah, it's helping destroy us, but it's also helping us.
Sure. It's helping promoting if you got a business. It's helped getting filtered between lies. I like the information, and the guy that made the Zeitgeist movie, Peter Jordan, or so I always forget his name. He was talking about he prefers internet because it's a free flow of information. Some of it could be wrong, but you can quickly just fact check that. Versus TV, it's no coincidence that TV is called programming. Like, people don't ask. I'm a big word person. When something look off about me, I'll look it up. Contract, any of these words that look shady, I always double check. It's called programming for a reason. And you don't think it's a coincidence that television looks closely to the word lie. Television, that's no coincidence. They could have used screen, any word. They chose television for a reason. All this stuff has meaning to it. But y'all, so in the Matrix, y'all don't want to do research. And a lot of these people think they so woke and they think they so smart. Bro, y'all being had and you don't want to admit it. Try to sit here and say, oh, you're not an open thinker. How if I'm asking questions about this shit?
Well, the thing is, though, is that, like I said, I'm not trying to turn this to the old young thing, but a lot of older generations were raised on TV. They didn't have Well, your generation did. You had the internet, but you also had TV. But the internet
Right.
was. But the thing is, though, they want to ban the internet and all this stuff, smartphones, social media. I'm like, all this stuff has done a lot of good. I mean,
Right.
the fact that you can make money on YouTube. You can be
Sure.
a millionaire on YouTube just by doing some stupid stuff that people like.
Sure. Right. Right.
9 to 5 job at some corporate job
Sure.
that sucks, and they don't respect you. They just see you as somebody that makes them another dollar, whereas you can actually
Sure.
make stuff. Everybody wants to complain about Hollywood and pushing the SJW stuff and not being good. Well, guys like Eric July, he got sick of it and he made his own comic that's doing really successful.
Absolutely. Good for him. I'm all about independence. Anybody, even if gay people got bit, start your business. You're in America. You have the right to do whatever you want. This is the opportunity. And if you want to move back to your native country, which a lot of people are starting to do because they're starting to see the cesspool that the United States is turning into. It's so much evil energy. And a lot of it was put in place by the powers that be with all these rituals that they put out there and going against nature and God. This is all karma, bro. That's all it. Real quick before we go any deeper, I want to read this because I want to be somewhat factual with this video and not all opinion. This guy from AP News, they put a lot of good articles. I'm not sure who owned them. If I had to guess, probably some independent Republican stuff. Mike Schneider did this article, and this is about the Desantis thing. So Desantis asked the judge be disqualified from Disney's free speech lawsuit, and they will go and open up a couple quick articles. So as it reads, Governor Ron DeSantis is asking that federal judge be disqualified from First Amendment lawsuit filed by Disney against Florida governor and his appointees, claiming the juror's prior statement and other cases have raised questions about his impartiality on the state's effort. And this is a big thing. If you're going to court, make sure the judges you got is not against you. Make sure it's not a witch hunt. You got to make sure these people are being impartial. In a lot of cases, even though the liberals try to act like we're so open-minded, no, y'all try to be petty as hell too if you can get away. If somebody's not on a square, they'll try to bulldoze you. And luckily, you can say whatever you want about DeSantis and the bad things he's done. He's done bad things. However, this man is not stupid. DeSantis' attorney filed a motion in federal court in Tallahassee on Friday seeking to disqualify Chief U.S. District Judge Mark Walker from overseeing the lawsuit filed by Disney last month. The lawsuit alleges that DeSantis and his appointees violated the company's right to freedom of speech, as well as contract clause by taking over the special governing district that previously had been controlled by Disney supporters after Disney opposed Florida legislation that critics have dubbed "Don't Say Gay." The Republican governor's motion was filed a day after Disney announced that it was scrapping plans to build a new campus in Central Florida and relocates 2,000 employees from Southern California to work in digital technology, finance, and product development amid an ongoing feud with DeSantis. Now, let's break this down. Me and my friend were talking about this early. Disney is threatening to leave Florida, which would be a dumb business move, in my opinion, because eventually a lot of people with money, these private people, are going to start leaving California. It's expensive as hell to run a business in California, A, because of all the taxes and stuff, and B, they don't want their children associated with this shit. So if y'all want to be selfish and dumb enough to move to Florida and pay more taxes and all that, go ahead and be stupid and do it. You're going to lose money quick, and you're going to be trying to run to the South to reopen this shit up. So this is, bro, he has every right to protect children up to the age of 8th grade, because I think that's the scope that it covered. Bro, these kids should not be associated with this gay stuff. They don't have significant enough hormones and all that to even process gay. And children in general, or teenagers, have a lot of emotions that are not concrete. Everybody know teenagers are emotional by nature. That don't mean those are set. Just because a little girl might be thinking, oh, I think I was born a boy. Okay, now you messed her boy. No, let's use a boy. A boy is a better example of this. Let's say you cut his man part off or whatever, and it affects him, his testosterone, his mood change, or whatever, everything that's associated with hormones. And all of a sudden, it's too late. You just fucked that boy up. Now he might become sociopathic. He might become a killer. Y'all don't think about, y'all are so selfish with y'all, whatever reason y'all are fantasizing about goddamn children and gay stuff to begin with is quite sickening, quite frankly. Y'all don't think about the long-term mental effects that this scar people with. And y'all always talk about, oh, suicide is high with gay people. I wonder why. It's not only because y'all allegedly saying, oh, they really gay and y'all not express themselves. No, I'm a confused teenager that don't know why people made me do this shit. Now I don't want to live no more. Y'all try to be selfish and make it seem like it's, oh, y'all taking a choice. No, they're confused because they have a lot of emotions and they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, that's how
they're fucking teenagers. That's why. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's exactly. Teenagers are. That's how God made teenagers. They're figuring out. That's the point of, like, they're trying to distance themselves away from the parents to become more independent in their home. Right. They're changing, hitting puberty, going, trying to, know where to be girlfriends, boyfriends, hanging out with friends. They're trying to become more independent from their parents. Right. That's how God put us on the earth.
Omari would know. He's at the last age of being a teenager. He's 18, so he's just transitioning into adulthood. But he's a lot more smarter than people in his age group. But he can tell you how he's felt. I mean, he's probably had a range of emotions in the last 2 or 3 years. That's just part of being a teenager, bro. Like, what's wrong? I was like that when I was a teenager.
Only thing we should kids, we need to know with them. But teenagers, the only thing we need to be pushed on them is what God made us to be. We should be telling, encouraging them to get a girlfriend, encouraging them to be a boyfriend, because that's how God put us on this earth. That's what we should be encouraging them. We should have been. Right. We should not be encouraging all this other stuff. Going to encourage stuff on teenagers. Encourage what God put us on the earth, and that is for a boy to be with a girl and a girl to be with a man. That's how it's to be. And if you don't like it, then, like Stone Cold Steve Austin said, that's just the way it's going to be.
Sure, that's the bottom line,
bro. Because said so.
Exactly, and because God said so too. Desantis versus Disney has a $1 billion price tag for Florida. National voters be warned. This is by the Miami Herald. This was published. It don't say the person's name right here. The Magic Kingdom made $1 billion despair in Florida on Tuesday amid escalating feud with Governor Ron Desantis. Disney pulled a serious power move. The company canceled a massive office complex set for Orlando development that was supposed to bring with it more than 2,000 high-paying jobs. Y'all are dumb. Boom. $1 billion evaporating into the air. That's the price tag now attached to DeSantis' over-the-top politically opportunistic war on woke. Okay, so this is probably a liberal that wrote this. Let's break this down for a minute, which is not a problem. It's their opinion. Let's break down how silly y'all are. First of all, Disney has lost a lot of fucking money producing these shitty Marvel movies. So y'all going to lose an additional $1 billion to power play over some personal petty bullshit. How dumb are y'all? Like, bro, like I said, everything I go to goes back to business. Emotions does not cloud a lot of my decisions unless you've been fucking with me and you need to be smacked. Other than that, bro, I'm a very left brain for the most part. I get creative sometimes, get my right brain when I come up. I'm a pretty balanced part. I know how to switch between the two at the appropriate time. But most business related stuff, I use the left side of my brain. This is nonsense. Y'all about to go to high ass California where taxes are fucking high. Why do you think all these big companies, tech companies, are going south? It's so expensive to be in California. And y'all gonna do this dumb crap? Like, come on, bro. These people are crazy, man. Just like the people that don't want Trump to don't want to exist because he has a different opinion than y'all. Bro, he's a rapist. Okay, if y'all gonna sit here and call Donald Trump a racist, how about y'all do research on Joe Biden too? He's done weird shit too. He's been associated with that Epstein, bro. Y'all are crazy. How biased y'all are.
Bill Clinton should be high at that list because he was on Epstein Island.
Sure.
Too, Monica Lewinsky, from everybody's favorite decades, the 90s, you would think they remember that, the whole Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky thing. I mean.
Right. Y'all are going over here and going to make dumb business decisions for a group of people that make up less than 10% or close to 10%. I think it was technically 7% of the world's global population. Y'all about to make all these nonsensical business moves to make these people happy, bro. Go ahead.
What companies' argument are, companies like Disney, WWE, all of them, they decided to go down this road path. It's like, well, the young kids, they like it. When in reality, I see no young kid, in real world liking this stuff. Honestly, I don't see it. Maybe some people, but I don't see young people liking this. They just say this stuff. They make it up because they know it's only a small audience. So they make it at the sound.
And the young people that like it are being told to like it by corporations or through television.
Yeah, they're pretty much. The thing is though is that like young people honestly reject it. I've seen it. A lot of young people reject this nonsense. They're afraid. They're afraid to be. They're afraid of the corporate. They're afraid to speak up. That's
right.
It's not the young kids. That's they say. Oh, the young people is woke. No, it's actually they're not. Well, some people are. Again, some people are, but not.
It depends on how you was raised.
That too. But like a lot of them is just they're afraid to speak up because because then they say something that triggers one of these communities, these colleges or something that they're trying to get into, whether it be college or something like that, trying to go play college sports. They're gonna deny them. So they keep quiet so they can do what they gotta do. That's how they get people really. That's with the whole COVID stuff. That's how they get people. You want to do something that you enjoy. You can't. Well, you gotta shut your mouth, or you pay the price. Whether that be you can't do what you want to do, or you get killed. That's how it goes.
And real quick, let's just add back to them leaving Florida thing with the LGBT. Bro, allegedly Desantis was talking about running for government, which I'm not surprised, or president. I'm not surprised. But the more pressing matter is, what were they going to do if they allowed the LGBT to stay in Florida? Think about what this was actually going to do. What their goal was probably going to make Disney. They was going to probably turn all the male characters into females. Like all this nonsensical business stuff that makes absolutely no sense. That's likely what they were going to do. So you're going to compromise the integrity of years of legacy of these characters that these children love. The Mickey Mouse, the Minnies, the whoever, all the popular Disney in their respective role. Minnie was a girl, Mickey was a guy. You're going to compromise all that for less than 10% of the population of a bunch of people that's going to be whining next week about a separate issue because you're not conforming to their nonsensical mindset. That's what y'all were going to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is absolutely insane. I don't even know how these people's brains even work with stuff like this. $1 billion, bro.
What's going to happen next is that I see that we're going to have an actual counterculture movement, kind of like similar to the 80s and 90s, but this time it's real. It's not manufactured. Right. It's actually a lot of this weird stuff that these elites push is going to get rejected hard. Sure. It's going to push back, because people's getting fear of it, and it's going to get a pushback. I don't hate the 80s and 90s, rebellion. Hold
on one sec. Keep talking, Omar. Hold on one sec. I'm gonna get up for a sec. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say I don't hate the 80s and 90s rebellion. I just hate that it was fake. I just say how it is. It was not real. It was corporate produced. If we had something like that, but real and a little bit bigger, things would be so much better. Again, we don't have that. But again, like a lot of this stuff goes back to parenting. With a lot of these parents just give their iPhone to their kid. That's the whole issue that we're having here. And my whole thing. The thing I gotta say to this is parenting. And again, I am not a parent, but what I observe, and what I've observed is that a lot of these parents just even like where it be before the internet or with the internet. Before the internet, they just sit the kids down in front of the TV. Let the
TV raise them, basically. Yeah.
Like, bro, we have generations of people who probably have more love for pop culture stuff than their own families. That's sad.
And the crazy part, I'm glad you brought up the phone thing, because if you're not a vigilant parent, these evil people, these corporations that use gay and all this stuff, they will slip some slick shit through the YouTube, and it'll be stuck in the kid's algorithm. And we already know a kid has a curious mind. They'll click on that shit as it pop up, or they'll turn a character. And my homie Jay, not OSJ, but my homie Jason West, who worked for me for a very long time. He did a lot of production work and stuff for me. He's very careful because he has 2 children, and one of them's autistic, so he's very careful with what they associate with. But he was on video once live. We was on the air talking, and his daughter was flicking through stuff on YouTube, and it was like an evil Sonic Knuckles. I think it was Knuckles from Sonic, And he was like, no, don't click on that one. That's not Knuckles. Somebody put that up there. They like, if you're not careful, little stuff like that, little subliminal messages can seep into your kids' algorithm on YouTube. I honestly think it should be a set, and it might be. I think it is a setting for kids on YouTube where don't nothing but kid stuff come up. That's appropriate kid stuff. If it got any type of spin or has been edited, that shouldn't be qualified to go into a child's algorithm. That stuff needs to be approved by the FDC or all that. It needs the feds need to. I don't know if we can trust them now, but if the feds are really doing their job, that stuff needs to be filtered for children because some of that stuff's not children appropriate.
Yeah, and again, I'm gonna say it again. I know I'm beating a dead horse. I'm beating a dead horse, and I say this all the time. And no, I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying I hate old people, the older generations. What I'm saying is that I do not like they don't have any accountability. These boomers and Gen Sers.
Sure.
They need accountability, and when you call them out, especially Gen Sers, and I've done this. I've said this a lot. You call them out when you and the funny thing is though, this is why I always be arguing with them. Because they want to make fun of and blame the younger generations for being quote unquote weak and all this. And I don't necessarily disagree. And yes, I agree they're adults, so they should take responsibility. But again, that doesn't mean you get off the hook. That doesn't mean you get like what's the word called? You should be relieved of getting no blame because this is your fault. You the ones that gave these kids phones. You the ones that let the TV raise them. You're the one that did all of this. You're the one. But again, no accountability with these people. And then they get mad at you when you call them out. You know how many old people I made mad on Twitter? I made a lie. Say, well, it's not our fault. Like,
and you'll be surprised how many old people are with the LGBT community too. It's a bunch of.
And here's the story. It was a couple months ago. It was this lady. She said that Generation X. And if you don't know what that is, Generation X are a generation of people born from like 1964 to 1980. So
right.
And she was saying how her generation was the best generation ever. And I'm like, what?
They were one of the more selfish generations, but yeah, if you really study them, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna call it out. I'm like, what? I'm like, what has your generation done to be considered the greatest? I mean, the World War II generation, they actually fought in World War II.
Right.
Now, I think sometimes they can get overhyped, but even then, I would say that they're one of the greatest. But what have they done? Honestly, they're just as degenerate. They're just as degenerate. Honestly, look at the stuff look at the stuff they did in the 80s and 90s, in the 2000s. That should tell you, right? Well, 80s is boomers, but the 90s and 2000s, look what they did.
Right.
And then Crash TV. I like that stuff, but Jerry Springer stuff like that is degenerate. Stuff like that. It's entertaining, but again, I gotta say how it is. A lot of that stuff, that's Gen X culture right there. And there's no surprise that a lot of that stuff was the precursor to what we have now in culture. But
right, I agree.
But
let's try to wrap it up a little bit. I didn't want to go super long because I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. Like I said, we'll probably follow up tomorrow when OSJ come back. Finish that last little piece, and then I'm gonna close out on this last little bit of this article, and we'll be done.
I'm gonna say the court says that I got she said that I called her out on something, and she said that she's doing her job as a parent. I said okay, but your whole generation not. And then I told her that okay, why don't we have that? If you think so, if your generation is doing their job, why don't we give these younger cats that's doing their job some praise? These
right.
like me, that's in trades, working our butts off. Why don't they get some praise? But but we get lumped in with the rest, so we get shit on. But you get somehow you don't get no blame at all. And a lot of these people don't even do nothing, bro.
Right. A lot of them drinking the Kool-Aid, bro. That's all it comes down to. They all drinking the damn Kool-Aid, bro.
I'm not trying to be pro young people because I not see problem. But what I'm saying is I've seen young cats that works way harder than these other cats.
Right.
The problem is getting accountability. Accountability is lost in today's world.
Make sure you write that down. I definitely want to follow up on that, and I want to get OSJ's perspective on if because I think he might be a little older. Well, I think we might be the same age actually. So I want to see how his perspective is when it comes to that because I have perspectives with that, but I'll save it for another show because I don't want it to go too long. So let's just wrap. Tomorrow, like I said, I'm off tomorrow. We probably could do a follow up because Jason wasn't available tonight. OSJ, Jason wasn't available tonight. So a lot of this with Desantis, with Disney, and this is the part I want to focus because this is very important. What originally began as a Disney's public criticism of Florida's so-called "Don't Say Gay" law, which originally barred schools from discussing gender and sexual orientation through the third grade, which is up to age 9, I believe, but was recently expanded to impact students to grade 12, has turned into a series of legal battles and display of political powers. Yes, that's pretty, bro. Kids shouldn't be taught that shit. Like I said, even with straight sex, they're children, bro. Let them grow up first. Like what is this?
I think you should wait until at least when they get to like junior high.
Yeah, like at least like around the time when you learn how to drive. That's a safe first time. You know,
and let me rephrase this. I think you should wait till at least they're in junior high and high school, but it should be taught, how God put us on this earth to be. It should not be queer stuff. If they can figure that out later, but
or at least natural, like, because some people not gonna understand when you come from the religious spectrum, because you have a lot of atheists and stuff, which that's fine if you want to do that stuff, but I think for more nature, the way nature intended, and the way to always slap them down is, bro, if God wanted you to be a one, He'll gave you 2 private parts. He gave you whatever you were born with. He gave you the male or the female. Like, that's an easy way. They can't go against that, and even if they try, I'm done talking to them. I'll mute whatever the conversation we're having, because at that point, when you go against science, you're compromising my brain. I'm not having a conversation with you.
The way I see it, if a man wants to be a girl, honestly, just have sex with your wife or your girlfriend. Hope you get a daughter, because your daughter is gonna be part you anyway.
Sure.
So just do it that, or vice versa, because your child is part you anyways. So, so honestly, it's a win-win. When you really think it's.
The last thing I want to close out on with this is they were talking about this freedom of speech shit, bro. Yeah, freedom of speech, but it's a problem. It's a reason that restrictions was put into the place on what you say. If you're inciting propaganda or hate, that at that point, that's when the freedom of speech should be disqualified, because they do this to make sure Nazi groups don't get out of control. Any type of group that don't get too extreme. That's why they put, unless you do this, and it should be that way, because people will run with it if it wasn't. The problem with the LGBT community is they think they can counter bully with freedom of speech. Well, that's my freedom of speech, so I'm gonna make you dumb, or I'm trying to take down your bit. That's what, now you violating freedom of speech when you're trying to destroy somebody's art or whatever their expression is on YouTube, trying to take their channel down. You going against free speech yourself when you do that. So that's why this is complete nonsense, and I hope DeSantis' lawyer picked this apart. Like, bro, freedom of speech still has restrictions to make sure people like y'all don't get too crazy. That's what needs to be focused on in this case. And like I said, if I wasn't so starving, we would have did another few minutes. But today I just want to eat, relax. Tomorrow, maybe I'll be a little more mood to a little longer podcast, especially if we get OSJ on here. It's usually a certain type of energy with the 3 of us. So maybe tomorrow is just my first off day. I want to chill, do a real short podcast. I even told Omar when we got on here, this wasn't going to go extend past an hour at the most, which we're at 55 minutes now. So this is a perfect cutoff point. So I appreciate Omari as always for providing his vast knowledge, especially at his age. Thank you, Omari. We'll be back tomorrow. As always, wrestling is terrible. That's my only opinion on wrestling. Look, when you got people like the Champ and these crazy people online, he's a smart. That dude, the British accent with the beard, the weird little kid, the weird Austin Theory looking beard. Now, when he say wrestling's terrible, that's how you know. When the marks are starting to say, which he's a popular podcaster, he's one of the dudes that get invited to the 2K showcase when they test the game before it come out. He even said wrestling's terrible. When the marks say wrestling is terrible, it's terrible. That's how you know it's bad. At that point, it's awful, bro. Go ahead.
That's why I barely talking about it. If you've been on Twitter and you've been seeing me talk less about it, that's why.
Same as me. I've been talking about pretty much anything but wrestling on everything I'm on. TikTok, Twitter. It's just not worth talking about. I'm really close to not going to SummerSlam. I was gonna go because it's only 4 hours from my house in Detroit. But the way it's looking now, I don't care that Brock Lesnar attacked Cody Rhodes and it looked like I don't care. It's just I'm to the point why I just don't care. Nothing they're doing is grabbing my attention because the people that deserve to be on television aren't on television. You don't got none of the big stars. You're not leaning towards any like big guy versus big guy or Omos trying to build him up against Roman Reigns. I just don't care no more, dude. It's just awful. But y'all have a good day. Bless y'all family. Protect them against these people. And y'all be safe. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you, Omari. I'll talk to you soon on Twitter.
Talk to you later, bro.
Later.